They forgot to update the address. I spent $10,400 on the engagement dinner and showed up to an empty, silent hall. A few minutes later, Mom texted, "Oops, I must have sent you the old location. Anyway, it's too far to come now," she added. I didn't say a word. Later that night, I saw my cousin's Instagram story. Dad was there smiling. Caption: "Best party ever. No drama. No him." Everyone was cheering. I froze every shared account, took all the money back from the venue card and set a little surprise for them. At exactly 10:01 p.m. it sent, and they started calling me like crazy. 74 missed calls. The worst part: when I called Dad earlier standing alone in that cold, empty hall, the first thing he said was, "Seriously? You didn't double-check the address? You're hopeless." I looked around the big room. The cold food. No music. No people. Just buzzing lights. I read Mom's message again. "Oops. Must have sent the old location. Anyway, it's too far to come now. Just head home, sweetie." The message came 10 minutes after the party was supposed to start. I had already paid for everything. The decorations, the food, the staff, even the silly flaming champagne entrance that Vanessa wanted. I stood there in my suit watching the ice sculpture melt. I didn't answer their texts. Not Mom's. Not Dad's. Not even Vanessa's. At 9:47 p.m. she finally texted, "Where are you?" As if I was the one who disappeared. The real punch came later when I saw my cousin's story. The same party I paid for. The same room. The same people. But I wasn't there. Dad had his arm around Vanessa's fiancé, smiling like nothing was wrong. Caption: "Best party yet. No drama. No him." They erased me. I watched that video over and over. All those people I helped laughing like I'd finally left for good. That's when I decided I was done. I froze every shared account. Netflix, Spotify, the phone plan. I took back the venue money, even the deposit. The same card they used for Vanessa's honeymoon payments. And then at 10:01 p.m. I sent my little goodbye. A Dropbox folder to every family group chat, even their church group, Dad's golf buddies and Mom's book club. Inside were screenshots of Vanessa's fake invoices. A voice recording of Mom saying, "Just distract him. He never double-checks receipts." The guest list with my name removed. I almost didn't send it. But they needed to know why I couldn't trust them anymore. By 10:03 p.m. my phone blew up. Vanessa. The cousins. 74 missed calls by midnight. I didn't answer. For years they made me feel like I belonged, like I mattered. Mom would text, "Can you help just this once?" I always sent money. Vanessa would say, "I'll pay you back." She never did. I paid for her Invisalign. Her dog's surgery. Netflix. The phone plan. The anniversary dinner Dad toasted at. "To family," he said. I paid for it all. I even tipped the waiter while Vanessa rolled her eyes and whispered, "Relax, it's just a meal." They were always behind on something. Rent, bills, her business course that she dropped after 2 weeks. Vanessa always had an excuse. And I always had money. At first I thought I was being helpful. Then I thought I was being useful. But in the end the math never added up. They took everything and gave nothing. All they gave me was silence, sarcasm, and entitlement. One time at a barbecue I overheard Dad tell his cousin, "Alex is good for emergencies. That's his role." They laughed. I pretended I didn't hear. The engagement dinner was supposed to be my last gift. My goodbye. But they stole that too. I found out later Vanessa used my deposit to book another venue. Bigger, flashier, across town. She even used my name to book it. I only realized after seeing the catering bill. The menu? Shrimp tartare. Bride's signature sangria. I never approved any of it. They used my money, then cut me from the photos. After that, things slowly fell apart. The family chat went silent for days. I thought they were embarrassed. I thought they'd expect me to yell. But I didn't. I stayed quiet. That's when it got worse. One afternoon I stopped by Vanessa's place to return her shoes. The door was unlocked as usual. I called out, no answer. Her laptop was open on the kitchen counter. I was about to close it until I saw my name. It was an email thread with Mom. Subject: Plan for Saturday. Keep Alex out. I froze. I scrolled. Vanessa wrote, "He'll be mad for 5 minutes. Then he'll pay for brunch anyway." Mom replied, Just don't let him show up. It's too awkward with Dan's family. They don't like drama. And the worst line. Of course he'll pay. He always does. I didn't know what hurt more, the betrayal or how sure they were I'd take it. That same night, Dad posted on Facebook. Some people thrive on drama. Proud of my daughter for rising above it. He didn't tag me. He didn't have to. The comments? Even worse. My aunt wrote in the group chat. You raised her well. Not like certain men I won't name. My cousin replied with a laughing emoji. You mean the family wallet? Then someone sent me a screenshot from another group chat, a cousin I hadn't heard from in years. They were planning a family brunch the day after the engagement party. I wasn't invited. One line stood out. Let's keep it clean. No meltdowns. No Alex. I sat at my desk staring at my screen. I wasn't even mad anymore. I wasn't surprised. I was just done. The next day Mom texted me. Hey sweetie. Can you help with the honeymoon deposit? Vanessa's card bounced and she's really stressed. I didn't reply. She sent another message. It's just for a little while. We'll pay you back. Promise. And, family means showing up. Don't be petty about the dinner thing. That's when it hit me they never said sorry. Not for the money. Not for shutting me out of the party I paid for. Not for using me. To them I wasn't family. I was a tool. A quiet one. But not anymore. I started checking my bank statements. I found 6 charges I never made. $389 for Vanessa's makeup trial. $1,120 for flowers I never ordered. A weird transfer to an account ending in 82, labeled hers. I called the bank. I reported the account. I canceled every automatic payment connected to the family card. Their power bill? Declined. Their grocery top-up? Gone. Even the wedding website I paid for, I changed it. Now it showed a plain white page that read, "This celebration has been cancelled. Refunds pending." Okay, maybe not completely true, but the message was clear. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful. It was heavy. Vanessa unfollowed me everywhere. Dad texted, "Grow up." Mom sent a single rose emoji. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because they still thought I'd forgive them. They had no idea. This was just the beginning. The restaurant was fancy. White tablecloths, candles, expensive everything. Vanessa booked the back terrace. She called it curated in the emails. The emails I wasn't included in. I wasn't invited. But I went anyway. Dan, her fiancé, was talking to his parents. Dad was halfway through his drink. Mom was laughing with some cousin I barely knew. No one noticed me at first until the waiter asked, "Excuse me, are you with the Carter Lane party?" I smiled. "Unfortunately," I replied. I walked in like I belonged there. The room went quiet. A napkin hit the floor. Vanessa's smile disappeared instantly. "What are you doing here?" she snapped. I shrugged. "Just wanted to stop by. Say congrats. See what a $10,400 party looks like when you leave out the guy who paid for it." Dan looked confused. His dad gave me a hard stare. My dad stood up slowly like he still had control. "This isn't the time, Alex," Dad warned. I turned to him. "You made that choice when you told everyone I was zero drama, zero him." His jaw clenched. Vanessa stepped closer. "You can't just show up and ruin this," she snapped. I let out a short, cold laugh. "Ruin it? Vanessa, I paid for it. Every rose. Every champagne glass. Even the playlist, downloaded with my Apple Music account." I pulled out my phone. Opened the screenshots. Held them up for everyone to see. "Here's your email to Mom. Just make sure Alex doesn't find out. Transfer the money from his card. We'll deal with it later." Vanessa turned pale. I looked at Dan. "And this next part? Oh, you're going to love it." Vanessa's note popped up on the screen. "He's a loser, but his money's good. He won't fight back. He never does." Gasps filled the room. People whispered. Mom stood up quickly, flustered. Let's not make this worse." But I kept going. "Worse? Mom, you helped. I saw your reply. Of course he'll pay. He always does." I looked around. "And you know what? You were right. I did until today." I turned to Dan. He looked terrified, like realizing too late the building was collapsing, and he was stuck inside. "Tell me, Dan, how much of your honeymoon did you pay for? Because that $3,000 Maldives villa. That was my card. I wasn't saying this to embarrass anyone. I was saying it because no one else ever had. Vanessa shouted, "You're insane." But her voice cracked. "No," I said calmly. "I'm finally awake." I tapped my phone. "In case anyone wants proof, here's the link. Every transaction. Every screenshot. It's all there." I wasn't after revenge. I just wanted to stop pretending none of this happened. Phones buzzed around the table. The silence was heavy, tight like a rope around everyone's neck. Dan's dad stood up slowly. "Is this true?" he asked. Dan didn't answer. Vanessa's hands shook as she reached for him, but he pulled away. "You said he offered to help," Dan said, confused. "You said he insisted." She opened her mouth, then shut it. She looked at me. I didn't move. Dan looked at his dad, then back at her. "I need some air," he muttered and left. Vanessa froze. Her eyes darted around the table. Then she yelled, "You always do this. You make everything about you." I stepped close, speaking only for her to hear. "You made me invisible. I'm just showing everyone the ghost you created." I looked at the table, all those fake smiles, sipping wine I paid for. "Let me be clear. I'm not your aim. Not your backup plan. Not your punching bag." Dad's voice rose. "You're humiliating us." I cut him off. "No, you did that yourselves." Then I walked out. No one followed except one cousin, the quiet one. In the parking lot he caught up. "I saw the screenshots," he said. "If you ever need someone to back you up." I nodded. Didn't speak. Got in the car. For the first time in years I wasn't running away. I was finally moving forward. They started calling before I even left the parking garage. Mom was first. 7 missed calls in a row. 3 minutes later a text. "Please don't do this. Don't make it permanent." But it already was. They thought we'd have a conversation. That we'd cry, say we're all just tired, and I'd go back to being the one who fixes everything. Maybe a little bitter, but still theirs. But this time? No yelling. No public posts. No explanations. Just silence. The next day I shut down every payment tied to me. Utilities? Cancelled. Mom's health insurance? Gone. Wedding services? Revoked. Shared logins? Deleted. Then came the soft messages, sneaky, trying to sound sweet. Vanessa texted. "We were stressed. It looked bad, but can we just talk?" Followed by, "You overreacted, but I forgive you." I didn't reply. I deleted the entire thread. By day 3 it was quiet. A cousin I barely knew wrote in the group chat, "If he won't answer, that's on him." Day 4 real panic set in. Mom couldn't get her prescription. Coverage dropped. The wedding site. Down. Family Prime account. Access revoked. I never replied. For the first time in years I wasn't left wondering. I was unreachable. That same week I signed a lease across the city. Smaller apartment. Quieter street. No one knew my name. I bought all new furniture. Not because I needed to, but because I refused to carry a single chair from my old life into the new one. I didn't block them. I just never updated them. No new address. No hints. No explanations. I took space and kept it. I kept my old number but turned off that phone. I bought a new SIM. Only the bank and security systems had the number. It wasn't hiding. It was a clean break. On day 5 Dad called. His name lit up the screen. I watched it ring, felt nothing. The voicemail. "You're no hero, Alex. You'll bury yourself like your grandfather. Another man running away. A real man fights." I listened once, deleted it, and never opened another. They didn't understand. This wasn't about the dinner or the screenshots. It was about me finally not coming back. Every other time, I'd blow up, stay quiet for a week, then show up with cash or help or silence. Not this time. This time I left, and locked every door behind me. The messages turned nasty. Vanessa said I ruined her life. Said I ruined her happiness. Mom tried to guilt me. Family isn't perfect, but it's yours. I didn't reply. I wasn't trying to get revenge. I just cut them off and kept living. Mornings. Quiet. No. Can you send a transfer? Texts. No guilt trips during lunch. Weekends. Mine. No unpaid errands disguised as love. I stopped expecting thanks, because I finally owed them nothing. And they owed me nothing. One evening walking home, a message popped up from an unknown number. It was a screenshot of an old subscription renewal, the last one they ever charged to me. No greeting, just a message. So, you really meant it? I smiled. Yes, I really did. I didn't burn the bridge. I just walked away and never looked back. I buried it. And I never marked the grave. It had been 5 months since the night everything blew up. I didn't reply to their messages. I didn't check the group chats. New bank. New apartment. New rules. No family, ever again. And it worked. I could finally breathe. My money stayed safe. My head stayed quiet. The silence wasn't something I had to fight for anymore. It just existed. For the first time I really thought I did it. I walked away. Left the mess behind. Then Dan called. Unknown number, but I knew his voice. I know you probably don't want to hear from us, but something happened. I should have hung up. Every part of me told me to, but I didn't. Vanessa opened a credit line. In your name. I only found out because the bank called me. They thought I was her husband. He paused. She used some old paperwork. Power of attorney from years ago. Said you knew. Said I was on board. Said, maybe you still cared enough to be useful. I walked into the bank. No lawyer. No panic. Just quiet, steady anger. The kind that stays cold and sharp. The account manager, a woman maybe in her 30s, kept looking at my ID, switching between computer tabs. This isn't a simple mistake, Mr. Carter, she said carefully. This is identity theft. Planned. Fraudulent. I nodded. A personal loan. A business credit card under Event Consulting. 2 fake applications for state COVID relief. Nearly $18,000. All tied to my name. I signed a complaint. The investigation started. And just like a bad movie, my mom walked in. She froze when she saw me. We locked eyes. She walked over slowly like a child caught sneaking out. Please, she whispered. Don't do this. You don't know the full story. Vanessa didn't mean to hurt you. She panicked. You disappeared. She thought you moved on. She was going to pay it back. We just needed help getting started. I looked at her. She committed fraud. It's family, Alex. Exactly. And you all use that word like a weapon. Her eyes filled with tears. You don't do this to family, she whispered. I looked straight at her. You did it to me first. 3 days later, Vanessa was arrested. Right in the middle of her salon appointment. Her nails half done. Hair pinned up. Handcuffed in front of everyone. She probably told her friends about her quiet brother. The one who always saved the day. Someone filmed it. I wasn't there. I didn't post it. I didn't even know until later. The video ended up on TikTok. Over 40,000 views in one night. Vanessa screamed, "This is a mistake." Clutching a designer bag, bought with my name, begging the cops not to embarrass her. But it was too late. The damage was done. Headlines followed. Bride to be arrested for identity theft. Brother reports $18,000 scam. Family betrayal. Sister arrested for fraud. I didn't say a word. Didn't tweet. Didn't post. So people tagged me. Isn't this your sister? She used your name and thought you wouldn't notice. Quiet brother. Loud karma. Dan called again. He ended the engagement. Publicly, no drama. His message to me was short. I didn't know the half of it. You were right to walk away. I'm sorry I doubted you. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I had already said everything. They just never listened. Now they didn't get to hear me at all. Weeks later, I sat in the bank again, closing every old account. Emergency contact? The woman asked. I smiled. None. He paused, waiting for a name. Leave it blank. She nodded and typed. That blank space felt better than any fake apology they never gave me. As I left, I saw Dad's car parked down the street. Same dent in the bumper. Same old air freshener. He sat there slouched in the seat. Engine off. Just, small. I walked past him. Didn't look. Didn't nod. I didn't owe him that. And here's what I wish I'd realized sooner. I wasn't weak for staying before. I was useful. I was quiet. I was obedient. They loved that silence because it gave them everything they wanted. But silence isn't loyalty. When I finally stopped being quiet, not with words but with actions, they didn't know what to do. Now I'm gone. Not a victim. Not a son. Not a brother. Not theirs. They wanted me erased. Now they don't exist in my life at all.